See, I'll go one step further. If you come into my store and you lie on that form, I don't care about you anymore. You're never going to be my customer because you're either a felon or a domestic abuser. Those are the only two reasons that you don't get the gun, okay? And I don't need those customers.
So, in other words, now it's getting down to the root thing here, is that she deserves to lose her money, is what you're saying.
In my opinion, of course, no, she doesn't deserve to lose her money, and she's not going to lose her money. If what she's told me is true, she's going to get the gun.
But, Rich, I guess what we're saying is this. You're telling me that anyone who walks in your store, you take money up front for a gun before the background check.
Let me ask you this, Tom.
Is that what you do? I'm just curious because CBI
yes,
said...
when you come in, you buy a gun, we consummate the deal.
Okay.
The background check is just a byproduct of what we have to do to give you the gun. Okay. Now, 99% of
and you may be completely right. I'm truly asking. Go ahead. 99% get the gun.
Yeah, nobody. I mean, and even the people that get denied, Colorado is one of the highest false denial rates in the country because they do such a poor job with what they do.
All right.
And now, because I make statements like that publicly, maybe that's why.
No,
CBI
and also, and
Rich,
also, I will tell you, you did offer anyone who gets denied. If they think it's wrong, you have offered to assist them. I understand
Absolutely.
that. Okay, now.
And so this lady, we haven't done anything wrong to her at all. If her goal is to get the gun, which is what she says, then we're going to help her. We're going to get that done. And I'm telling you, the other places, Bass Pro Shop, those places, they don't do that stuff.
But what I'm asking you is that if someone failed a background, you're saying to them they don't get their money back, they own the gun, and now they got to figure out a way to sell it to get their money back.
I'll do it.
All right, you'll do it. You'll do it for 20%.
We had some of your customers, your listeners call in and yesterday immediately and say they'll buy the gun. And, that was great.
No, I know, but that's neither here nor there. At this point, I'm just trying to get the bottom line here as far as what is really the story. Is this the way the law was intended, for people to own the gun first?
Well, see, you're saying own the gun.
Well, you said she owned the gun.
Sure, she's purchasing the gun.
Right.
She's purchasing the gun.
Because otherwise, you could just give her money back and she'd walk away. But you're not, because you're saying she owns it.
Okay, yeah, she owns it. It's her product. That's right.
All right, well, that's the whole point. Okay, hold on. CBI, we got to get somebody on. He is saying you buy the gun, you own it, they do the background check to see if you can take delivery. If you can't take delivery, they will sell it for you at 20%. That's what they're saying. That is their process. I have asked him 100 times. That's his process. CBI and every other gun dealer we have talked to said that is crazy. Not me. They did. They say you take money and sell the gun first. No, first we do a background check to see if they can even buy it. But he's saying no. That's not the way it is. What do you say? 303-771-HELP is the hotline if you would like to chime in on this. Because now it's gotten beyond that purchase. It's the way of doing business. Is what he's saying true? Or are these other gun dealers wrong? Are they breaking the law? He's saying that they're breaking the law because the person has to be the purchaser, which means the deal has to be done first, before the background check. 303-771-HELP if you have a comment on this. I'm Tom Martino. Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. The instant messages are going wild over Gunsmoke and Rich Wyatt. Tom, I've purchased guns for years. It is unbelievable to me that they would sell a gun to someone before they pass the background check and then claim they can't get their money back. Wow. 303-713-TALK. I don't have one email in favor of the way he does it. Now, he might be, because I don't know. I do not know this deal. He may be the only one doing it right. All the other dealers say what they do first is a background check. Then if the person passes it, they consummate the deal. Rich Wyatt says that is illegal because you must first be the purchaser in order to take the background check to begin with. That's why, and then he offers no refunds. So if you pay for the gun, you don't pass, you don't get a refund. And Lance is with the CBI he's with CBI. He's the public information officer. And I got to tell you, I truly don't know. I just don't know what the answer is here. Lance Clem, hello, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can you shed some light on gun transactions?
Well, essentially what you said, Tom, is correct. The usual process is for people to go in and they fill out a form. The form is usually submitted these days by internet, and a clearance comes back indicating that the prospective purchaser is allowed to buy a gun.
Or not, right.
Or not.
And if they're allowed to buy, they buy.
That's correct.
Well, what about Rich here? And I don't think Rich is trying to be a bad guy. I think either he's misunderstanding or he's the only one who gets it right. And Rich, he said that's the usual process. You say you sell the gun to the person first, but isn't it illegal to sell a gun to someone without a background check? Or is it illegal to let them have it?
It's illegal to let them have it. It's part of the transaction to do a background check. It's part of selling a gun to do a background check. I was directly told, sir, what was your name from CBI?
Lance Clem.
Mr. Clem, I was directly told by CBI you could not run a background check unless the person had purchased the gun.
Well, I'm not sure where you're getting that information, but
directly from CBI.
If that were the case, then you'd be seeing it as common practice among all the other dealers.
Well, I only did what you told me to do.
But you're the only one doing it.
Well, I don't know that. I don't believe that at all.
Well, Rich, you know, listen, I don't think you're a liar, and I don't think you should think we are. And I can tell you that every major gun dealer we have talked to does not do it that way. Now, there might be one guy somewhere that might do it the way you do it, but I've not heard from one that does it that way.
They don't sell the gun, so anybody that comes in, I could just run their background.
No, they have to come in and fill it out, and they have to want to purchase it. But Rich, I'm not saying you don't have a point, because what you're saying is, in order to do the check, you have to be a gun owner. Yet the state says you can't own a gun unless you pass the check.
Right, and the first question on that federal 4473 form is, are you the actual buyer of this? And I don't have the form in front of me.
Yeah, I know that. But when I go to buy a car, that's what they ask me when I finance it. Are you the purchaser? Yes, I am. But I'm not a purchaser if I can't get the loan. I think that's semantics. They mean, are you the party to this transaction?
But if you were to charge a felon who came in and tried to purchase a gun with the felony of trying to buy the gun, then you would have to have all these details, all these ducks in a row. Otherwise, he could say, I never really was going to buy the gun. I was going ahead and check it to see if I could.
Well,
and that's what CBI told me.
Mr. Clem, a lot of gun dealers are listening today about this. I mean, we really need to straighten this out, because Rich is saying everyone is doing it wrong.
Well, if this dealer wants to get it clarified, we'd be happy to do that for him. I can ask the supervisor of the Instant Check unit to clarify that for him.
And we already did that. But he can do it. But I mean, does he really
I got the information from CBI.
But does CBI actually get to interpret it? Maybe they interpret it the wrong way. Maybe Rich is the only one who's getting it right. Because he does make a point. If someone fills out an application and lies, how do you arrest them for trying to buy a gun under false pretenses? But, Rich, I also believe it's the actual act of filling out that application inaccurately that's the crime, not necessarily the purchase of the gun. The mere fact of trying to of filling that out and lying on it is a crime.
Sure, that's forgery or
no. It can be a felony because you are lying on a federal form.
And it's another felony if a felon's in possession of a firearm. So if he comes into the store and he's handling the gun, he's in a felony there. I got a question for Mr. Clem. Why is it that if somebody has a warrant out for a failure to pay a traffic ticket, you guys come in and arrest them and take them away in handcuffs? But when people fail the background check, which means that they are trying to purchase a gun, which is a felony, you don't send the cops in for that.
Sometimes that's actually done depending on what the restriction is.
I've never seen it ever.
It does happen.
So in other words, if somebody is trying to purchase a gun and they have a restraining order against them, the fact that they put no on the form, is that enough to send an officer to get them?
No.
Why?